Have you had any crises? Is it just me? Am I the drama?
Yeah.
Why are you so obsessed with talking about sex? And he was like, sex. Hello, welcome back to Sextras.
Where we talk about sex and all the extras.
I'm Honey,
And I'm Maria.
and today is our last episode of season 2.
For the last time in season 2, we are sitting here recording for you guys.
So sad. This is our 2-year anniversary as well, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, so that's why we're wrapping the second season around this time. You know, just to everything, to come full circle.
Yeah. And honestly, it is kind of time. Like, we really need a break, I feel.
Yeah, I mean, I don't feel it as much as the end of last season, remember?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that was rough.
But I feel
for
like
me,
that was
I
because
think.
it combined with, like, our degree and everything.
Yeah,
that was
exactly.
just a lot.
Like, that was insanity. That felt like insanity. This feels a little bit less like insanity, but it does feel like, okay, yeah.
It is time. Like, I think you can tell in our last few episodes that we're, like, ready for a break. It just feels a lot more real also because now that we're doing video and audio, it's, like, a lot more work. Like, we could not do... I don't know how the fuck we did 54 episodes last season, but we could not do that this season. Like, it's just too much.
54 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
Well, 52.
Yeah. But this is, like, okay.
But
More
yeah, check those
manageable.
episodes out, guys, from season 1 and season 2, obviously.
Yeah, 80 plus episodes.
I know, you've got so much content.
Go
We're
catch up
so
with it all.
lucky.
Do you guys know how much work that is? Like, I don't feel like people realise. I was thinking how many hours go into one episode and trying to do the maths of like it must be like 7 hours for one episode.
True. No, yeah, I don't know. I've thought about it as well. It kind of depends. Like, sometimes it takes less time and sometimes a bit more.
Yeah. Yeah, so how many hours? Like, what is 8 times 7? Like 56. Yeah, that's 560 hours of us making this podcast for you at the least. At the very, very least.
You're so lucky, guys.
And you know how much money we've made from that? A grand total of £70. Oh, love that for us. But anyway, that's obviously not the reason we do it at this point.
Yeah, I mean.
But anyone who wants to sponsor us next season, please pay our bills.
Emails are open, our DMs are open.
We want to be
Get in
influencers. We did decide today that we are going to be influencers so we can go on free holidays.
Yeah, fly me out wherever. I'm down.
We'll be there. I'm unemployed currently, so I have literally nothing better to do.
Well, apparently the millions of hours that you put into the podcast, so actually.
Okay, yeah, well, that's true. I'm always like, why am I so busy? And it is just doing stuff for the podcast, like constantly.
Honestly.
Anyway, so we kind of just wanted to wrap up the season.
Should we say what zone we're in first?
Yeah, let's see what zone we're in first. The
What
last zone of the season.
The
This might be the last time we do the zones.
I know. How are you? What zone are you in? Going into the season finale, going into the summer, going into... Yeah.
That's so much pressure for my zone.
Yeah, true that.
I was gonna say grey, but now I feel like I can't. But only because I'm so tired today. Like, I literally didn't sleep last night.
Oh no.
But I am quite, I guess, quite yellow, quite green. Like, I'm quite excited for the summer, for like what's gonna come. And yeah, I just feel like really happy that we have this little sphere of like people that listen to us every week, and that we created this. Like, I kind of can't believe that this is real in a way. And yeah, I just want, like, I have so many hopes and so many things that I want the podcast to achieve, and like I hope that we can do that next season. And yeah, we'll see how long it goes on for. What about you?
I'm feeling yellow, to be honest. Like, I'm feeling so great and relaxed after my little holiday.
Yeah, like Maria's like, oh, the season is fine, like we can keep going after her little holiday.
Yeah, honestly, I'm like glowing. But no, I'm feeling good. I am like so tired now, to be honest, 'cause I've had like quite a long day of traveling and whatnot. But I'm excited. I'm excited for a little meetup. It kind of sucks this episode's coming out after, you know, we can't like talk about how it went or like whatever. But if you came, very grateful. You know, I'm speaking to these future hypothetical people. Nothing's happened yet, but I'm excited for the little meetup this weekend. And yeah, I'm feeling like good about the season. You know, I think we've had some like cool episodes.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I think they were all good. But,
really? Shall we can get into it later in the episode.
Yeah, we can expose the behind the scenes. But yeah, and no, I've really enjoyed it, and like I really enjoyed last week's episode with my mum. Like, that was just like a really cute thing, and I think she's quite happy with it, so like that makes me really happy. And yeah, I thought it was really cute, and like I'm really glad we got to do that with her. And like I'm really proud of her, because she was like quite shy about her accent and like her English, but she did great.
Yeah, she did so well, and it was so interesting to like hear about her life and stuff.
It's so crazy to me, like genuinely. I was really thinking about this, how like we really just had, like, me and my mum just had completely different lives, like upbringings, you know. It's just kind of insane that, like, even just thinking about it, because that is kind of the only lens I've been thinking about it through, just like in attitudes towards sex and like growing up just like in a much more open way, and just like the life experiences and whatever, just so different, even though she's my mum. As in, who are you going to be more similar to in your life other than your parents, kind of thing.
That's so depressing.
I know. Oh, God.
Each of us, we're like, I feel like pretty much the same person. But even that's kind of wild. Like, we have had literally fully different lives.
Yeah.
I think it's just we've known each other for so long. We've just molded grown into up the together, same person. Yeah.
Like, that's also kind of wild. Like, when you think about it, we fully grown up together. Like, sorry, just gotta kind of like speak for a second. But yeah, like from 12 to, I don't know, the next years that are gonna go on. Like, imagine we're still friends. Like, not that we're not gonna be friends, but like, as in, like, imagine we're like in our 40s gonna be like, and whatever. And it's like, you are the person that's known me the longest. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of wild.
Yeah, it's kind of wild. Well, we better be friends, because I literally have a tattoo for you, so that better be lasting forever on my body.
Yeah, imagine we are not friends, like, when we're older. That would be so weird.
Yeah, I just don't see it happening.
Yeah, neither.
But
yeah, I was gonna say, what's happened this season? That happened. Yeah. This whole friendship
crisis,
fiasco,
the male gaze. I feel like the highlights of the like crises of the season was like the male gaze thing. And like there's so much more I have to say on that, but it's a never ending topic in my mind. Yeah, the friendship thing, but me having herpes.
To date or not to date thing, I feel like that was quite big.
Yeah, this season does feel like quite a blur. But I think that's just because like it's been so like what is gonna happen next, you know. Also, there's so much I want to talk about next season. There's just, I genuinely don't know. Everyone's always like, oh, how do you come up with episodes every week? And I'm like, I feel like there's always stuff that we want to talk about.
Yeah.
There's never enough time to do it all. But yeah.
Do you want to tease?
I'll tease a couple of things. Okay, so I want to talk to guys about their sex lives. I have a whole list of questions, and I keep asking guys if they'll be in the podcast, and they're like, yeah. So that will happen, hopefully. I want to do an episode on how to make friends as an adult. We want to do, I mean, we kind of briefly discussed this, but I really want us to do that episode where a podcast episode that parents can play their kids for like the talk about sex or like stuff about sex ed that they don't want to be the ones to say. Because we were talking to your aunt about it, and she has like 2 9-year-old kids, and I was like, that's such a good idea. There's so much stuff about like parents and kids that I want to talk about, like how to raise your kids sex positively, that little episode, whatever that will look like. If you should talk to your parent, like what you should tell your parents about your sex life, or like what you should discuss with them and what is okay to discuss, and like kind of what came up with your mom of like, should you know about your parents' sex lives? And there's so many. PCOS. I want to do one about destigmatizing like having sex when you're older. So many things. We have a whole list. What about you? Do you have any stuff that I didn't just say all of it?
I kind of want to do one about like love, you know. I know we did some in season 1, but
yeah.
And we did like, should love be difficult? We're just gonna be plugging episodes left, right, and centre throughout this. But yeah. Oh yeah. I
like doing the ones about love. I want to do one about kissing. You know, we've never done one about kissing, and we've never done one about periods.
True. Oh, periods, we should do one for sure. Like, I definitely want to do one about periods.
And, like, hormones and stuff.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah, and as you were saying, like, kids stuff, like, like, stuff that would be, like, helpful for, like, kids. In a way. I don't know. Not that we're, like, trying to actually be like educators or anything. That's not what this is.
Yeah,
guys, we're not experts or educators in any way, but yeah, I think that would be kind of cool. And I mean,
more just like LGBT episodes.
Oh, for sure, we should do more queer stuff. I feel like we barely do any.
Yeah,
but I guess you guys will have to tune into season 3 to find out what we actually talk about and what actually makes the cut.
Season 3 sounds like so much. Like, that's a lot of seasons.
Oh yeah, true. It's kind of crazy. I want people to send like what their favorite moments of the season have been, or like their favorite episodes. Things that they want to see.
Like, what kind of episodes do you guys like the most? Do you like when we talk about ourselves? Do you like when we have guests? Do you like the like chattier episodes or the deeper episodes? Do you want more episodes about sex? Do you want us to do more of like the collage-y kind of episodes where we have a bit of us talking about ourselves and then like someone sends a voice note and then we have like the segment, you know? I kind of like those ones. I like that style. So yeah, let us know what you like, and also like what you learned from the podcast, what you enjoy. Like, I don't know, it would just be good to have some feedback, basically.
Do you have something you've learnt in season 2? Putting you on the spot here, but think about it. I'm trying to think of mine.
Oh yeah, I just remembered another crisis I had. The polyamory one.
Oh yeah.
Well, have you had any crises? Is it just me? Am I the drama?
Yeah. I don't know. Have I had any crises? I mean, not really. Not crises. I feel like I did bring into question, you know, the whole like, should you be in a relationship in your 20s? Not that like I was ever gonna not be like.
You like, we finished that recording and you're like, right, it's decided. That would never happen.
Yeah, I don't know. What crises have I had? I feel like my life is so not dramaful these days.
Yeah, I feel like Maria's, it's just, there's so much less drama when you're in a relationship anyway. I mean, it kind of depends on the relationship, but your relationship is just not really dramatic, and you like to make drama. Like, not that you like to cool, like, I'm not saying that, I'm just saying that, like, you have very dramatic reactions to things that don't always warrant.
But not even like that much anymore. No, I mean, I do still.
Yeah, but definitely not as much as you used to.
Yeah. I used to create so much more drama in my relationship, I feel.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah. We're just so, like, settled.
Yeah.
Wow.
So grown. But, okay, sorry, I completely avoided your question about what I've learned this season. I feel like every week I learn something about myself.
Yeah.
If not about just, like, general knowledge about sex and relationships. Like, I always learn from our guests. Like, Chanel. Learned so much from her.
Yeah.
Rachel.
That was one of the wildest, like, blowing my minds kind of moment of the episode. Of the season, sorry.
And Sarah. Like, everyone that we talk to, I learned so much.
For sure.
What about you?
I don't know. I like, what I was kind of thinking about was, like, because maybe this was a bit of my no, it wasn't a crisis. It was more like a realization that I had of the whole, like, a relationship shouldn't actually be that much work. Because I feel like in season 1, I was like, oh, I learned that, like, it shouldn't be perfect. Like, it can't just be perfect. That's impossible. But now in season 2, I'm like, yeah, but it shouldn't be hard either, you know?
Yeah. It's like a balance.
I'm getting there to, like, the prime spot. I'll get there eventually. As the seasons go on.
Yeah.
But I was going to ask, is there anything that jumps out at you from the season that you're like, oh, I've changed my mind about that? Or, like, an update about something? I don't know, like, thinking back to the first episodes, like, about dating apps or something like that. I don't know.
Like, I go through phases of being like, oh, I've definitely changed my mind about this, and then I'll come back to it, like, a few months later, and I'll be like, oh, did I? I don't know. You know?
Yeah.
Like, dating apps, obviously, I deleted Hinge and Tinder for ages. I re-downloaded Hinge the other day. I don't think I told you, but I hate it still, so that's good to know.
Okay.
And the whole, like, should you date someone older? I'm always being pushed and pulled with this one, but I feel like I mainly come back to you shouldn't do it. There are some exceptions though. And sometimes I'm talking to someone, I'm like, are you so mature that you can just deal with this? Or are you so clueless that it seems like you know what you're talking about?
I get
that. Sounds mean, but...
No, I get what you're saying.
It's the harsh reality. What else did we talk about in the beginning?
Herpes. Do you want to give a little herpes update?
Herpes chat. I mean, I was on my meds for 6 months. I finished those like a month ago. I just had an outbreak, so that was fun.
Cute.
But I don't know. I feel like it's like the least of my concerns at the moment. It was annoying, but it's like I'm not having sex, so it's not that annoying. Literally, my life right now is like, seeing as I got the implant taken out, period. Then after that, I got sick for like a week. Then obviously, because I'm sick, I get a herpes outbreak for like a week. Then a week after that, I can't have sex. And then I get my period again.
Oh, that's nice. That's such a good cycle you've got going.
Yeah.
So
I'm loving this routine.
Hormone and menstrual routine and herpes routine.
Anyway, yeah, what about you? Have you learned anything? Have you changed your mind about anything?
I really don't know. Nothing that's jumping out at me.
I feel like you've changed your mind about the attachment styles kind of thing, but not changed your mind, like you've just changed as a person.
I mean, I go back. I don't know if you guys listen every week, like that. It was just this week that I come out and I'm like, oh wow, I'm like fixed now. Then literally like the next week I'm like, oh no.
You're like, yeah, no. You didn't text me. How dare he?
I don't know. I do think I'm generally a lot better about, like, I'm more secure. Like, I mean, it'd be kind of bad if I, like, it's been so long that, you know, I feel like with time you have to. Like, just more trust builds over time or whatever. I don't know. But I feel a lot more secure, but I still have, like, a lot of cheeky little anxiously attached tendencies, but so much less. It's kind of crazy. Like, less and less and less as time goes by.
It's definitely, like, a noticeable difference.
Yeah, it is kind of wild. I genuinely, like, think back to how I was, like, at the beginning of my relationship. It's kind of crazy. Like, who is that girl?
Who is she?
Me and Shane were talking about this, like, literally yesterday. How our relationship started and how I just, like, kept showing up to his room and shit. And because he was like, oh yeah, those were the days when, like, a half-naked girl just showed up to my room every night. And I'm like, honestly, like, the cheek of it. Like,
yeah, like, you were so ballsy.
I was so ballsy. And I was like, I just don't know if I could do that, like, now, you know? Like, if I was single now, if I would still be like that, or if... Because I feel like I've changed so much that I don't know if I would still do that. But then I was thinking, like, I do think I would still have my old ways about me in that sense of, like... Oh, I don't know. I don't even know how to explain what I mean.
Yeah, I get what you mean. Okay, this is the number one thing that I've learned this season, is that when it comes down to it, I am such a baby. Like, I cannot do anything. Like, I can't make a move on anyone. That is the number one lesson that I have learned. And I'm incapable of making a move on anyone. I was trying to make a move on someone and I told them I was in my celibacy era. So that is just a sign.
That was such a good move. I mean, if anything's gonna get you laid, I think that is.
Yeah. Love that for me.
I wanna...
Do you have any favourite moments of the season, I guess? Let's say before we move on to, like, the next little bit of the episode. This really structured episode that we've got planned.
Any moments that stand out? Well, I loved the episode with Dr. Aditi Paul.
Yeah.
I don't know whether to call her Aditi, Dr. Paul, Dr. Aditi Paul. Anyway, but that was, like, really, like, lovely. I don't know, I just remember feeling, like, in the call, like, oh wow, like, I feel, like, relaxed right now. And, like, this is, like, a cool conversation, which, like, I feel like I've never really had with... Not that there's anything wrong with any of our other guests at all. It's just that, like, I think, like, just the vibe of that episode was just really, like, cool. I really enjoyed that. I'm just not great at meeting strangers, okay? It's nothing to do with the guests.
It is so intimidating, though, to, like, go in, and because in season 1 we used to, like, call with the guest before the actual call so that we felt more comfortable if we could. And this season we've been, like, raw dogging it and just, like, going straight in, and it's so, like, you just feel so, like, thrown in the middle of it.
No, but not that I have felt uncomfortable in the other ones. Like, I haven't. It's just, as you said, it's a little bit like, you know, anything can happen.
Yeah.
I've really enjoyed the episode with Nehar as well. I was thinking about that when we were going on about, like, what kind of queer, like, label and identity fits on you. Like, that when I was editing that was cracking me up. And
when you guys were saying I was, like, a gay man. Like, what the fuck does that mean?
If you guys watch on YouTube, you missed that because we didn't get footage of that, so it only made it to the audio.
Yeah. But also watch the YouTube videos.
Oh yeah, because so many things haven't made it to the audio that did make it to the YouTube. I think that's, like, a little bit cheeky, you know. Always keep you guys on your toes. But
should we say worst moments of the season?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want to...
Worst moments of the season is, like, when certain guests, we're not going to name names, obviously. I feel like that's a bit deep, reach out to us because they want to come on our podcast and tell us that they can talk about a certain thing and then actually don't want to talk about that thing at all. And that's just not what they're there to do.
Yeah.
And, like, when we have to tell people we're not going to release their episode.
So
worst moment of my entire life.
And when you start recording an episode but then they're like, oh, I only have like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But your episodes are an hour long, so kind of confusing how that's gonna work.
Yeah.
Also all our technical issues as always, of course. And you know, this season, as Honey was saying, with video, it's just added a whole new layer.
Sprinkle
you
of
know?
stress.
Yeah, it's just like a whole new layer of things that you need to worry about. They're just so excellent.
I wonder how many times our camera has stopped recording.
Honestly, the amount of times we've had to like re-record things as though we've like haven't just had that exact same conversation 2 seconds ago.
Mm-hmm. And when it happens with a guest and we have to be like, oh, can you repeat this thing you just said? And it's just like, you can tell they're just not into it. They're like, okay, I'll do it.
Oh, it's so good. Oh, and D also. We recorded
Yeah,
with D. That was so good. That was funny because I don't know if we said this in the episode, but she's like my ex's brother's girlfriend.
Yeah, I don't think we did say that.
So I just think that was funny. That was like a little highlight.
Yeah.
But yeah, and they're such a cute little couple, and I'm so happy for them.
Yeah, but yeah, everyone that we've spoken to. Also, a massive part of the podcast is you guys and like all the stories that you send.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And getting involved.
And anyone that's ever contributed to a segment or anything like that, like thank you so much. Because honestly, like it makes the episode so much more interesting. And like we love like reading all the responses and like, you know, talking about what everyone has to say. So thank you so much.
Yeah, and to anyone who's like obviously ever supported us, we love you.
Yes. We hope to see you at the meetup on Saturday.
Yeah, but maybe now is the time to take a quick little sponsor break.
Sounds
and then
good.
We'll come back with like a whole load of submissions that we have to end the season. Thank you to the Natural Love Company for sponsoring Sextras.
We're so excited to be working with them because they make amazing, sustainable sex toys with incredible waste-free packaging and carbon offset delivery. So, you know, just basically, as their slogan says, you're not fucking the planet, you're fucking yourself.
Exactly. And that is literally all we ever want to promote on Sextras. And yeah, they're just the best. They have literally the most beautiful packaging. Like, look at this.
Yeah, look at these little bags, just so discreet, so pretty.
Yeah. And they have the best like curated range of products. They have options for couples, options for solo, play, butt play, anything you could really want. And it's like not too many options. You just get like one really quality thing that is versatile and can see you through.
And it's so affordable as well, which is just so incredible. And we're so grateful because they've sent us some toys to show you guys and just talk about them. So I got the cock ring, and then there's like these little kind of ears that are gonna like vibrate on your clit. It has vibrating settings, power button and everything. So you can use this with a partner or by yourself. I've done both, and I mean, I came very quickly, so
so it did its job essentially.
Yeah.
Yes, and then I got sent this beautiful dildo, which is double-ended. It has this like girthier, like ribbed side, and then this side is just like curved, so it can stimulate your G-spot. And yeah, I want to like keep it on display in my house, basically. I just love it, and it's so cool that it's sustainable and it comes in this beauty packaging. And
they've also sent us lube.
Yeah,
they do their own lube and their own toy cleaner, and it's all natural and just like all the good stuff, essentially, and obviously going to be safe with condoms. And yeah, like go check it out. Okay,
so you guys have two options if you want to get something from this wonderful company. Firstly, if you're listening to this before the 30th of June, you can enter our giveaway, which will be on all our social media. You just have to do a little quiz and then it enters you in the giveaway, and that's to win a Cassia wand, which is like a long vibrator, and a wild strawberry version of this lube. Or
go to thenaturallovecompany.com and use code Sextras at checkout for 15% off. That's 15% off with the code Sextras at thenaturallovecompany.com.
Okay, well, let's get back into our last episode of the season.
Oh, yeah.
So, as we said, we have a whole load of submissions from you guys, and it's just like a mixture of questions, stories, dilemmas, that kind of thing. So we're just going to run through those to end up the season, and then we'll say goodbye for a little break. Okay, there's a few like, is this normal kind of question, but the first one is, I'm a straight male and I really get turned on by watching other men ejaculate their cum loads. Any idea on or why or what this means? I masturbate and watch compilations of ejaculating videos, and I can ejaculate so hard myself. Is this normal, or is my subconscious telling me different? I feel like this doesn't mean anything about your sexuality.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I feel like, I don't know, cum can just be like, like, you know, everyone's into something.
Yeah.
Like, cum can just be like one of the things that you're into,
Mm-hmm.
or like maybe you are like a little bit into guys, but that doesn't really matter either. But I don't think that, I agree that it really doesn't necessarily mean that at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, not to bring everything back to the male gaze, but I did reread the male gaze like original essay by Laura Mulvey the other day, just for funsies.
Of course.
And essentially what she was talking about is like the whole psychoanalysis of like the mirror theory and like all this stuff behind the male gaze, basically. And I don't know, this kind of just reminded me of that, of like watching men in films or like in porn or whatever it is, and like maybe you're not sexually attracted to them, but it's like the idea of you being them, watching through their eyes or whatever, or like imagining their experience. You gain some kind of pleasure from that. Like maybe it turns you on, maybe you feel powerful, maybe you feel, you know, some kind of way. So that kind of reminded me of that. Maybe it all comes down to the male gaze.
Yeah, I was thinking that too, that like maybe it's just like men just love men, like
Yeah,
men just love how great men are, you know, especially like straight men.
yeah.
So it's like it could just
so,
be
like,
something like, you know, you're just really like macho and that kind of thing.
Yeah, straight male culture is so like homoerotic.
Yeah,
It's so bizarre.
exactly.
It's so bizarre. So yeah, essentially it's normal. I'm sure lots of men can relate.
Okay, someone said, I've masturbated in my stepdaughter's panties and her bed. I've never got caught, but I've done it several times before and I love it.
Question mark?
Yeah, no.
No.
No, that is literal sexual assault.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Don't really want to say much else about that one.
Yeah, I don't really want to entertain that at all.
Yeah.
It's kind of not cool. You should not be doing this.
No.
Okay, moving on. Someone said, I'm addicted to vaginas. The look, the smell, and everything about a vagina drives me wild. I find myself masturbating at least a couple times every day, and I can't wait to get home from work to watch Pornhub and masturbate to women masturbating. I'm obviously a straight male. I'm in my mid-40s and I can't seem to get enough porn and masturbating to satisfy my needs to be in or around / watching women masturbate, or even just vagina images. Do women have the same kind of feelings for a man's cock? Please help. Okay. Firstly, in relation to your like porn habits, I feel like if it's like consuming your life, that is a sign that you should maybe seek some kind of help for that.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's no shame around that, but like if something is like affecting your day-to-day life, that is kind of considered an addiction. So just putting that out there for you to do with what you will. And then in terms of the whole vagina thing or masturbating, I think that's totally a normal fantasy for a straight guy to have. Like, don't see anything wrong with that.
Yeah.
some people are really into genitals, some people really aren't. That's just kind of how it is.
Do women have the same feelings about cocks there?
No, I don't know. I guess it depends on the woman.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely reckon there's women that feel this exact same way about penises. I bet you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of women that do worship that dick. Anyway, I hope you figure out that obsession with porn and wanking.
Yes. Okay, someone said, is it normal to like fingering more than penetrative sex? Again, there's not really any normal, like there's not really anything that's consistent about everyone, but like if that's what you like, then go with that. Like you gotta just own what you like, you know?
Yeah, but I do see that like anxiety of like,
yeah,
you know, I sometimes feel that, but I sometimes feel like I'm just being lazy with it, you know, like because like, oh, I'd rather just come quickly and like not have to do any like physical straining exercise or anything.
Yeah, also because fingers can kind of like reach a lot more places than a dick can. Like a dick can get inside you, obviously, but it can't like curve necessarily in the way that you want it to, and sometimes it's just not hitting right. You know that fucking TikTok like trend of all these straight men being like, oh, when she rides it like backwards and forwards instead of up and down, and they're like all frustrated, and it's like, yeah, because that's like what feels good for us. Don't know what to tell you, buddy, but you gotta do a better job. So yeah, I reckon just have that conversation and be like, this is like what I really enjoy, like if you want to give me pleasure, can you finger me? And then like if what makes you happy is to have penetrative sex, then we can also do that, you know. Bit of a compromise there, but like at least you still get what you enjoy.
Yeah, but it's definitely normal.
Yeah. Okay, then we just have some general questions for like advice on sex and stuff. So someone said, I get attached too quickly and too easily and end up hurting myself. Help. So we have done a whole episode about attachment styles and like how you are attracted to people, and I am clearly obsessed with attachment styles. So you should definitely go listen to that and learn a little bit about your attachment style. But to me that sounds like you have an anxious attachment style, and yeah, but it could also be avoidant, to be fair. Like maybe you like get attached and then you realize you actually don't like this person and you want to get away. So yeah, definitely worth checking out how your attachment style is affecting that.
Okay, someone else said, I'd love tips on hooking up etiquette / getting back out there after a breakup. Well, we did an episode about lessons learnt. It was called Breakup Lessons Learnt or something like that. And that's about breakups, and it's not necessarily getting back after a breakup.
Yeah, we did do one in season 1 though called like Time to Get Back Out There. So yeah, you could listen to either of those two. But in terms of like, I don't know, I feel like they're kind of asking, when is it okay to hook up after a breakup?
Oh, I see. But what do you think?
So I think it's like whatever works for you. And like some people are so good about after a breakup being like, okay, just so you know, I wouldn't feel comfortable if you had sex like straight away, or like if I heard you were like on Tinder or whatever straight away, which is fair enough for them to say that and like put that out there, I think. But it's also like a little bit unfair in some ways of like you've broken up, so it's not really up to them to be like having a say in your sex life.
Yeah.
So I think just like if someone says that to you, like, you know, take it into consideration if it's like something you care about, and like I don't know, it's so complicated. But for me, I think it's hard when you're going through a breakup to like know why you're making certain decisions. Like, should I be having sex right now? Like, am I doing this because I'm horny and like because, you know, I'm single and I'm happy to be single, or is it because I'm like trying to
fill a void?
Exactly. What about you? Like, if you broke up with Shane, how soon after do you think you'd have sex?
Oh my god, I don't know, because I think I think it kind of depends how long you're together.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I also agree. Because I obviously think, like, different rules apply to me than apply to him. Like... Obviously. But... Oh, God. I don't know. Because I wouldn't be okay with him, like, shagging anyone for at least 6 months. Like, at least.
Yeah.
Like, I'm being serious.
Yeah.
But
also, would you know about it?
Exactly. That's the thing. It's like, I think as long as no one knows about it, whatever. Like, if the other person is gonna be knowing about shit, I just feel like, come on, like, be a little bit respectful. Like, there's literally no need to, like, be shagging someone a week after our 3-year-long relationship ended. Like, that's so rude.
And, like, flaunting it.
In my personal opinion. I know that I also agree with, like, well, we're broken up and it's none of your business. And that's why I just think, like, no one should be knowing anyone's business. If you don't know, you can't care. So I don't know, even though I would want to know, because I know myself, but
you should.
I wouldn't want to know. You know, like...
You shouldn't ask if you don't want to know.
You're broken up, it's none of your business. Exactly. If you don't want to know, if the answer might upset you, just don't find out. Like, just leave it. Leave them to live their life. You live yours. I don't know. I don't know if I would sleep. I don't know how soon I would sleep with someone. Because, like, maybe I'd just be like, oh, I have to do it. But I think I'd be too scared. I genuinely feel like I'm going to be... Like, if we broke up right now, I'd be, like, terrified to shag someone. Like, I haven't shagged someone else in so long.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of scary. And also, you can, like, think you're ready and then be in the moment and be like, oh, actually, this just, like, isn't right.
Yeah.
Know? I remember, like, actually, when I broke up with my ex, I thought that, like, he was having sex with people right away, or, like, saying that he wanted to have sex with someone right away. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And I was, like, furious, because I was like, why would you tell me that? Like, I don't want to know. And he was like, no, honey, like, I love you so much. I only want to think about having sex with you. And I was like, okay.
Thanks for that. But no, we should do an episode about it. It'll be interesting. Tune in season 3.
Stay tuned. Okay. And then someone said tips on blowjobs. We
did do a blowjobs, handjobs, fingering, and head episode. It's called, like, fingers, hands, mouths, something like that. Like,
tongues.
So listen to that. And we didn't give extensive tips. Do you have any quick tips that we can give out now?
I feel like you just need to not be afraid of the dick.
Yeah. For sure. I'd say don't be afraid to use your hands as well. Like, I feel like people, you know, it is sucking dick, but, like, you're basically giving a hand job at the same time. So like, I think don't be afraid of the hands. Don't be afraid of the balls. They love that shit.
Treat it like it's amazing. Treat it like it's, like, the best thing you've ever seen in your life. And that will kind of, like, trick your mind. If you don't love it, you know, like, that will be like, oh, I'm gonna, like, make it seem like I really enjoy this. And, like, a mixture of different strokes, licking wise up the sides and, like, around the top. And, like, you know, it's kind of like tease them a little bit, don't go all in all at once kind of thing.
Yeah, true. Also, if you want to get it, like, you know, I feel like something is better for it to be, like, really wet and slobbery rather than not. Obviously, you don't want to, like, a big mess, but it's easier to handle, in my opinion, and, like, if it's not, like, dry. That, like, you know.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
So, but yeah, I mean, if you're like into deep throating, just do a quick one and then you'll get all the saliva.
True.
It's a good technique.
But also, people will try and trick you into believing that deep throating is the goal
of
giving head, and it's not. Like, and if you don't like it, just don't do it.
And that's what I mean by don't be afraid to use your hands. Like, you really don't have to be shoving a dick, like, all the way to the back of your throat, like, at all. Like, literally at all. I feel like that's what scares a lot of people. It's like, you know, and they can't breathe and all of this idea. But, like, you literally just need... If you, like, nibble on the tip and just use your hands mainly, like, that will be fine. Like, you're good.
Don't use your teeth.
Yeah, obviously not. That's not what I mean by nibble, sorry.
I know.
My language when talking about this is very much, like...
No, but I feel like that is a tip in itself, you know?
True.
But also, you can just lick. That is part of a blowjob, and like it doesn't always, like the dick doesn't always have to be in your mouth. You can be in control of it.
Yeah.
And especially don't be trying to deep throat any man's dick who is complaining about running out of breath when he's giving you head.
Don't suck a guy's dick if they won't eat your pussy. Like, just sorry,
if they can't make you come, full stop.
I wouldn't. I mean, I would, but
yeah, but like, just, you know,
I wouldn't after I found out how bad they were.
Yeah. We also did an episode with Kinky, and it's called How to Have Better Sex. That's in season 1. She gave loads of good tips because she has like a whole book about how to give head, so you can also go buy that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's some quick blowjob tips, but we can also do a whole other episode on that potentially.
Yeah.
Oh,
someone else said, how can sex be more enjoyable for the girl?
Okay.
Again, Kinky's episode, I'm gonna go straight off the bat and say check that out.
Yeah.
We talk a lot about that. We also did one called The Girl's Gotta Come.
The one about fingering, I feel like, is pretty good too.
Yeah. But I mean, off the top of my head is like, listen to what they actually want and like do that rather than like think about what's gonna get you off. You know, just be like considering the other person. I just feel like as long as you're like having sex with someone, like, you know, it's 2 people. It takes 2 people to have sex. So like, as long as you're actually like experiencing it with someone and like you're both taking part and like something's happening to both of you. It's not like you're just fucking someone and just like, you know, like as long as it's not that kind of experience of that you're doing something to someone for like your own outcome and pleasure, then you're probably along the right tracks.
100%. And then someone said, I had my first one night stand and it was not as good as I was hoping. Do you have any tips for better one night stands? I don't really have one night stands is the thing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what you mean by like as good as I was hoping. I feel like one night stands are famously not good. Yeah. I mean, I don't think that you should, I don't know, it depends what you mean by like it's not what you were hoping. Maybe like what you were hoping is just like a fun, spontaneous, like in the moment kind of thing, and that's not what happened, because I feel like that's what a one night stand is. It's not really like, you're not really going in thinking like, oh, this is gonna be really good sex.
Maybe
at least
you are though.
I don't know, I don't think that that's what a one night stand is meant to be. And one night stand is like, you're at the club, you're both horny, it's time to go home. That's what it is.
Yeah, but it can also just be like someone you hook up with once, in which case I feel like I heard someone the other day saying like, you have so much freedom, you're never going to see this person again, so like anything that you've been worried about being judged about in the past, like just bring it up, you know, if you feel comfortable with that person. And like it's obviously very dependent on who the 2 people are that are involved, but like you can kind of just go for it if the chance is there, take it.
True. I don't know, I hadn't even thought of that. Like so many people that struggle with like being insecure and whatever, I do see how it's bad, because like it's better when you trust someone to like not feel that way, but at the same time then you can just be like, I'm never gonna see them again, like it doesn't matter what they think, you know.
They'll just be like, wow, I had this like crazy sex and she was just like up for all this stuff, you know. But obviously that's not the goal, like to be up for as much stuff as possible. It's not a competition, but like if you do say stuff that you want to do, they're like probably not going to judge you, you know, because they had no like prior idea of who you were, so it's not like it's incompatible with this idea they have of you in their heads, if that makes sense. Okay, and then some just like general stories. Someone said, kind of a one night stand story. Someone said, after a month of no sex, I had an amazing one night stand with a French guy who matched my enthusiasm perfectly, which I think is sometimes hard to find. Also, the build up was very flirty and relaxed, which is exactly the type I go for. Love that.
To hear that.
So happy for you.
So that's a tip. Find someone who matches your enthusiasm.
Yeah, that's true. Just like in any situation. Yeah.
Okay, someone said, I just got into an argument with my roommate because she was saying how inspired she is by the Kardashians promoting body positivity. I guess I just don't understand how the Kardashians can be promoting inclusivity, quote unquote, yet they alter everything about their bodies because they weren't happy in their natural state.
Okay. There's a lot to unpack here. Yeah. I think we forget that, like, the Kardashians are people and that, like, yeah, they do have, like, very contradictory, like, that is a contradiction, what you're saying, obviously. But, like, it's kind of like a fake it till you make it kind of thing in my mind. Like, Chloe, her whole brand, Good American, is, like, about being inclusive and, like, you know, showing all these different body shapes and sizes. Yeah, there's been all this, like, chat about how she's clearly, like, insecure and, like, has had plastic surgery and how she works out all the time and, you know, like, she's changed her whole look kind of thing. And, like, I feel like you can be insecure and still admire, like, other people's openness and, you know, want to show off their body types, you know? I don't know, what do you think?
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of struggle with this one because I agree, they're people, like, everyone feels insecure, and, like, especially if your life is watched by millions of people and, like, every little thing you do, and, like, it must be horrible that, like, you can't go out and, like, you're worried if you, like, bend a certain way, they're gonna get a picture of you and, like, you're not gonna look perfect, and, like, then people will be talking about how you look bad, and then people are like, you wonder why, like, it's, like, at this state of, like, contradiction even, you know?
Yeah.
I do get that, but at the same time, I do struggle a little bit because I think they could be a lot more transparent about the work that they've done. If Chloe was, like, more upfront about the work she's had done, and, like, they all were, not that they're, like, so secretive about it, but, like, I do think they could be a lot more vocal about it, I wouldn't have as much of a problem. It's just that, to me, if you're, like, trying to be hush-hush about this, and then you're, like, promoting these workout plans or whatever, it's like,
yeah,
well, this is never gonna make you look like that, like, ever, ever, no matter how much how many of their products and, like, the shit that they're selling you buy, you're never gonna look like them because you didn't spend money on that plastic surgery, like, you know what I mean? So I don't know, I feel very uncomfortable with it.
Yeah, I do 100% agree with that.
But at the same time, I also, like, don't agree with people, like, I don't know, they're human, everyone's human. I just don't like people being mean to people online. I really don't understand that.
Yeah.
Like, I see shit online that makes me so annoyed, or, like, I just see someone and I'm like, I fucking hate this outfit, it's so ugly. But, like, I'm not gonna comment that. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is the point of, like, I can think it, that's fine. Everyone can have their own opinions, like, of course. But, like, you don't need to, like, comment something mean about someone. Like, I just don't get that at all. Even, like, the biggest celebrities and whatever, like, I have so many opinions about, in ways that I, like, don't see celebrities as people, and so many of the time, like, I don't want to be like I'm on this high horse, but, like, I would never take it online.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
Also, like, this whole thing recently with, like, how Kim is dating Pete and now she's, like, white, you know, that is so true. And, like, that whole side of it is, like, the most problematic part of it all for me, of their blackfishing and just the way they think that it's, like, trendy to switch between races so frequently.
Yeah.
And that they, like, I think the biggest thing is that they know that influence they have over body shape trends, why that is a thing, like, I don't know, but they know that it is, clearly, like, the whole BBL thing. So I don't know, I hate that, but yeah, I think it all just comes down to the fact that, like, they are human, and I think mostly it comes from a place of insecurity. But it still causes harm. At the same time,
they know what they're doing. Yeah. So, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just a bit fishy for me.
It is a bit fishy indeed. Okay.
But anyway, cute little Kardashian tangent.
2 more stories left and then we're gonna wrap up. So someone said, I met a guy on Tinder, went on a couple of dates and everything was going well. Spoke every day 24/7. He ended up staying over at mine 2 to 3 times a week. We would just chill and watch TV together. Then the next day he would go home late afternoon. This guy seemed invested, even took days off work to come see me. Asked my permission if it was okay for him to go away to see a concert last minute, as we had made plans for that weekend. He made an effort to make sure everything was okay, even walked me home after a night of drinking at 3 a.m. whilst he was sober and at home. He had work the next day at 7 a.m. yet still came and made sure I was safe, walking like 2 miles to get me. Yet a week later I had to call things off because he decided that even though he liked me when we left uni long distance, it wouldn't work. I feel a little played, as he made a good point of mentioning that it would be nice to see me in a couple of months if we worked out, and even mentioned that he would tell his mum. We did sleep together like 3 times, but nothing that would have made me think it was just sex. Especially when he used to mention liking me. If I ever needed anyone, I could turn to him, etc. We both trusted each other with quite private information as well, so it was definitely not one-sided. Was I wrong to assume we were going towards a relationship, as that is what we had kind of mentioned after 3 months of being with only him, and the same for him with me? It feels a little muggy. I was upset, but I'm just annoyed now that it feels like I got sucked in.
Damn.
That's so deep. No, I feel like it's not wrong to assume that at all. Like, it does seem like that was the case, and I feel like it's just kind of like really disappointing when you have this idea of what's gonna happen or like what something's gonna turn into and it doesn't end up like that. But like, I feel like that's just a testament to like why it's so important to kind of state your intentions from the beginning if you know what they are, and like don't let this put you off how you approach relationships in future, you know. Like, just because it happened with this one guy, it doesn't mean it's going to happen with everyone. And like, now you know, okay, like this might happen, so I want to protect myself against that by saying, look, I really want this to like go somewhere, or like I really want this to just be casual, and like, you know, I feel really shitty if you just like turn around and say that this was something that it wasn't, kind of thing.
Yeah, and that's such bullshit. Like, it's really annoying when people are like, this guy was clearly like putting in a graft, like, you know, like getting you at 3 a.m. and all of this bullshit, and then like turning around and being like, oh no, but like we're not serious, I don't know what you're on about. Like, okay, well then don't act like it. Like, I didn't ask you to do these things. Nah, it's bullshit. And like, I completely get feeling disappointed and like you were being led on a little bit. But at the same time, like, it's probably better to not go to uni within a relationship. Like, not that, I mean, I don't know, like, you will be fine. It's what I'm trying to say. Like, you'll go to uni and it will be great, and you'll be kind of glad that you're not in a relationship, I reckon. Yeah, definitely. Obviously, everyone's different, but anyway. Okay, the last one. Someone said, I just discovered your podcast. The first episode I listened to is the one about wanking. It was funny, informative. Thank you. I was married way too long to a woman who hated me, and we barely had any sex. And when we did, it was not intimacy. It was awful. Sex once a month, maybe, if she was in the right mood, but it was never an intimate event. I took what I could get, and for religious reasons, I did not wank to make up for the lack of sex. I don't know how I survived, but for reasons I won't go into, I stuck with her for 24 years. Wow. That's so long. I finally let her go and married an awesome woman who loves me. In the beginning, we made up for lost time, a lot of sex, it was great. Then menopause hit, and my wife's libido disappeared. Now we still have sex, but much less frequently, but here is how she is awesome. We managed the desired discrepancy by her saying she is okay with me wanking when she isn't in the mood, and she doesn't get jealous of porn. I'm gradually working on not feeling guilty about wanking and moderate use of porn. It's not easy to do because the old religious ideas still pop in and haunt me, but I'm doing my best. Not sure if this is a secret worthy of mentioning in the podcast, but I'm sending it anyway. God bless you too. Aw, thank you for sending that. Yeah. I feel so, like, honoured. Yeah, that's really cute. Like, I mean, it's shit when you are with someone, even short term, and your libido doesn't match up. But, like, I can't even imagine what, like,
24 years of marriage must look like that. And like, I'm glad that, you know, you've kind of reached a place of compromise. And
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I feel like it's a good lesson for people who have this like religious shame around sex. There is some kind of hope for like being able to have some pleasure and like not feel guilty about it.
Yeah, and I'm glad that like now you're in a space with someone that's making that space a lot safer for you to actually like undo all the like religious learning that you have in your head.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I feel like you're in the right path. Like that sounds like really good, and I hope that you keep breaking down those religious ideas that are holding you back. And I'm sorry that your wife's libido dropped.
Yeah, we should do an episode about that as well.
Yeah.
That must be crazy.
But I mean, as always, thank you to everyone for their submissions, and thank you for everyone for sending their stories or their questions and anything like that. And please keep doing so. And we can do more episodes like this, and or more moments and episodes that we talk about your guys' stories and submissions that you have sent. So yeah, thank you.
Yeah, we always want to hear like if something happened to you and you're like, I don't know really who to tell about this. We're always down for like hearing about stuff, and yeah, we love hearing what you guys have been up to. And yeah, just thank you so much for all of your support.
Absolutely.
And you guys obviously know where to find us at this point, but like stay up to date for like when we're coming back for season 3. Go catch all of our 80 plus episodes. Like there's so much to catch up with if you're new here. And yeah, you can watch it or listen wherever you get your podcasts. And just keep getting in touch, keep suggesting things you want to hear, send sponsors our way, keep sharing, leave us a review. We would love if you left us a good review. That would be really, really nice. And you can do that on Apple Podcasts. But yeah, do you want to tell everyone where they can find us?
Yeah, go to Instagram or Facebook or TikTok or Reddit at Sextras Podcast, and you will see us there. And definitely keep up to date over the season break. And yeah, definitely check out our YouTube, which is Sextras Podcast. And of course, just subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
Yeah, and go check out our sponsors for this season, The Natural Love Company and Manscaped. Our codes are still active with them, so make sure you go get 10% off at The Natural Love Company with the code Sextras, and Manscaped with the code Sextras20, which is 20% off and free shipping. And yeah, that helps support us as well. But other than that, we will not see you next week.
We'll see you next time.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
You've been listening to Sextras, presented by Honey Jane Wyatt and Maria Jose Hayodatiyi. Produced by Mabel Productions.